Hi, and welcome back. Okay, once you have your anchor points set in the right places and your models rigged up, you're ready to start keyframing and animating. So, one thing you can do in this project, if you can't think of anything, if conceptual thing is eluding you, is just to show off the model and show off that it's linked well and there are some good action points. In this case, we're just going to be rotating the joints in the skeleton here. So maybe I'll start here with the left thigh here. And again, you open up the keyframing and animation controls just to the left of the title of the track there. Click the arrow, then click transform. And let's just go ahead and have this thigh rotate here a little bit. So first thing we want to do is start our keyframing process by clicking the stopwatch next to the transformation we want to make there. So rotation now is started here. And basically all you do is you just move your scrub key along the timeline, then you rotate your object. And notice here that it's keyframing there. And then maybe by the time we get to here, we've got the original keyframe here. I'm going to click on the first keyframe, hit Control C, and go down here and hit Control V. Oops, I got to be on there too. Control V. And now he's back to the original position there. Okay. So if we look at this, you can see there that he's moving his leg. Maybe we'll do the other one next. So we can close this. And let's go to the right thigh and do the same thing. Okay. So again, start at the beginning. So make sure you bring your scrub key back to the beginning of the timeline. Click rotation. Okay, and it's going to stay in. It has to stay in that same position to support the frame, right? Until about right there, maybe. So let's click another keyframe right there. And again, right here, we can just go over here and rotate just a little bit and then bring it back to where it was. And that'll create a keyframe. So notice here, he'll stay in that position for that long. Then starting about right here, he'll start lifting the right thigh up to about here. Okay, and then by the time he gets to 4 seconds, he'll be back in this position. So again, Control C to copy this keyframe. Control V to paste it. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Just moving around, maybe stretching. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, perfect. Okay, and while he's doing that, maybe he's doing something with his arms too. Again, same thing. Let's have him. Let's go to right bicep, maybe right there, and we'll start the rotation there. Okay, make sure you're at the beginning of your timeline. Click rotation. And as this is coming out here, maybe his right arm is going up. So there we go. And then by the time we get to 2 seconds, it's going to be back in its position. Control C to copy it. Let's go over here. Control V to paste it. Okay. And let's do the same thing with the left. Let's go up here. Left bicep. Okay. Or, sorry, right bicep. Wait, left. Okay. So transform again. Make sure your scrub key's back at 0 to start keyframing. Click rotation. Okay, and then the arm will stay in that position till about right there. So again, we'll take this first keyframe, copy it. We'll paste it over here. So from here to here, it's going to stay in that same position. And then about a second in, maybe about right there, this arm's going up to about right there. Okay, and then back to original position there, Control C, Control V. All right, so here's what we have so far. It's rendering there. Okay, and then maybe on the next run, let's have them raise their arms here up. So from here, and we'll have them stay in that position for just a second or two more. Let's copy this again. Okay, and then do the same thing with the right bicep. Maybe about right there. So if we open the left bicep along with the right, we can line them up perfectly. It's like they're lined up. Perfect. Okay, so now we can have maybe the arms go over the head. So again, we're in the right bicep here, so we're going to keep going here. So by about maybe another second or so, this thing's going up. Maybe about there. And we'll do the same thing with the left bicep too. So by the time we get to there, the left bicep's coming up there too. Maybe about there. Let's do the same thing with the right one. Okay. And so also in this process, we also want the elbows to move if we can. So let's go to the bicep again, or better yet, let's go to left forearm. Let's try that. Again, go to rotation. Make sure you're back at 0, of course. Click there to keyframe that. We're going to stay in that position until about right here, maybe. So right there. So we're going to stay in that position on the left forearm. So copy and paste that first keyframe. Control C. Go here. Control V. And then by the time this gets to there, so we're going to rotate this thing in. Maybe just behind the head. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll do the same thing with the other one. So that was left forearm. So now we'll do the right forearm as well. Okay, let's take a look at our rotation. Let's see, forearm. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the beginning. Again, we're going to start the keyframing process. Forearm's going to stay where it is till about right there, maybe. Okay, and so again, we just drag that and then drag it back. There we go. Notice there it made another keyframe just because I'm dragging the slider away in the back. So by the time it gets to here, maybe this one will take a little longer. Maybe a little more there. And now we'll rotate it. Okay. And then maybe same position for a little bit. Maybe not quite a second. Control C to copy that keyframe. Then we'll Control V it. So it stays in that position. We'll do the same thing with the other one. Again, just grab that one. Control C. We'll paste it right there. Control V. Okay, and then let's see, by the time we get to 8.5 seconds, maybe, the forearm will come back to where it was. So we'll grab that first keyframe, Control C. We'll go to this part right here. Hit Control V. So you can see it's going to go back to its original there. And we'll do the same thing with the other one. Okay, Control C to copy the, click off all the keyframes. Control C to copy the first keyframe. And then go where the scrub key is and paste that. Okay, and then by this time also, the arms, the biceps will have returned back. Okay, so let's go to the biceps here. Right bicep. Okay, transform. Again, rotation. By the time we get here, the first one is going to be back there. Control C. Go down here, Control V. And we'll do the same thing with the left bicep, too. Okay, so we'll close that. We'll open the bicep. There's our rotation. We'll grab this first one, Control C. Click over here. Click on rotation, Control V. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Again, you see some good movement. We're seeing good use of the joints. Shows good linkage. Okay, and then maybe one more thing we'll do is have the head move at the end. Okay, so let's go over to the skull. Open up the rotation. Again, that's our action point there. Make sure, again, you rewind back to the beginning of your timeline with your scrub key so you don't screw anything up there. Rotation there. Maybe by the time he gets here, we'll have him rotate his skull a little bit the opposite way. And then as he comes back down, maybe grab the first one, Control C, Control V. And then as this one's coming up, maybe his head's turning the other way. Or maybe we'll have him go back this way again. And again, back to his original spot here. Control C. Control V. By the time he gets here, well, let's see. Let's take this position here. We'll Control C and we'll put it one more here so it stays there. Control V. Okay, and then by the time these get up here, maybe his head just moves just a little bit. Have him go the other way. Maybe not quite so much there. Okay, and as he's coming back, Let's put one right there too. Control C, Control V. Let's head, by this time we'll be back in the original position, so I'm going to grab the first keyframe again, paste it right here. Okay, and by the time it gets here, let's have, I have an idea. Let's do the pelvis here. Let's add a keyframe right here. So rotation. Okay, and then we'll add another one here. Control C to copy that first keyframe. Control V to paste it. And then from, well, let's go quicker here. Let's do it a little faster. And then by the time it gets here, they'll have rotated on the pelvis here. So let's do a rotation. Oh, wait, I can't do the pelvis, right? Because the whole thing will move. Let's try the torso. So we're going to get rid of these. We're going to turn off the stopwatch. There's no more keyframes there. And we're going to do the torso. Okay? That'll be the last thing. There we go. So here's what we want. So again, we'll start at the beginning. Make sure you rewind back to the beginning of your timeline. Click the rotation button. By the time this is happening, maybe the torso has rotated just a little bit, like that, right? And then as he comes back, come back to the beginning, Control C, Control V, and then as he's going up this way, we'll have him rotate maybe the opposite way, a little bit on the torso. There we go. Okay, and then by the time this is down, they'll come back to the original. Control C, Control V. Okay, and then maybe from here to there will be the same position. Control C, Control V. Then as we get up here, maybe just a light, quick rotation somewhere. And by the time it gets here, we'll go back. Well, let's copy this one first. Copy, paste. Then by the time we get to here, he's rotated back. Maybe that way. It comes down. Let's have him go this way a little bit. Opposite way. And then here. Here we'll have them overcompensate right here a little bit. And then right from here to there, we'll have them come back to the original position. Control C on the first copy, on the first frame, and then click on rotation at the end. Control V. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got an animation now that shows good linkage, it shows good joints, good action points, and it shows that the models link together well, okay? So let's render this out and we'll take a look at it. And now we can watch it fully rendered here. Okay, so you can see now it shows good linkage, it shows good motion paths, good action points, and it's really coming to life. So that's how you do the animation in After Effects. You just start with your action points, your joints, and you rotate. And basically the process is the same as always. You move the scrub key and then you Or you start by clicking the stopwatch, then you move the scrub key and then move some aspect of your creature. Move your scrub key, then move the joint. And that's basically it.